My fellow Americans, it has been the honor of my life to serve you. I won't stop.
Barack Obama no longer holds public office, yet his presence still stirs headlines, shapes conversations, and echoes across global stages. The question is simple. How does someone who once led the free world continue to move it after stepping away? His estimated net worth today sits at $70 million. But behind that number lies something deeper, a life designed for reach without noise. So, what does power look like after the presidency? Origins and ascent. Before the accolades, before the arena-sized rallies and presidential motorcades, there was a boy growing up in Honolulu. Barack Obama was raised primarily by his mother, Ann Dunham, a cultural anthropologist with a passion for education and social justice, and by his grandparents, Stanley and Madeline Dunham, who instilled in him a strong work ethic and a belief in the American promise. His early years were shaped by movement and contrast, from the quiet neighborhoods of Hawaii to the bustling streets of Jakarta, Indonesia, where he lived for several years as a child. These cross-cultural experiences planted early seeds of perspective, empathy, and curiosity. But it was in Chicago where his adult life took form. In the early 1980s, fresh out of Columbia University, Obama moved to the South Side and began working as a community organizer. It was unglamorous work, sitting in church basements, organizing tenant meetings, helping laid off steel workers, but it was foundational. He often described those years as when he found his voice, not through speaking, but by listening. He learned that true leadership wasn't about commanding attention, but about building trust, forming alliances, and solving problems one block at a time. That ethos carried him through Harvard Law School, the Illinois State Senate, and into national politics. By 2008, he had become the 44th President of the United States and the first African American to ever hold the office. He entered the White House with global hopes on his shoulders and left it 8 years later with a legacy that reshaped American politics. But unlike many former presidents who retreat into quiet retirement, Obama chose a different path. He didn't step back. He stepped into a new phase, one not defined by public office, but by global influence, private strategy, and enduring power. A chapter was still being written, a different kind of power. Obama left office with one of the highest approval ratings for a departing president in modern American history. But he didn't vanish into private life. He didn't disappear to paint in a quiet cottage or retreat to a ranch. He shifted lanes. Where some saw the end of power, Obama saw its reinvention.
I asked you to believe not in my ability to bring about change, but in yours. When Michelle and I launched the Obama Foundation, we turned to you first.
His first move was the launch of the Obama Foundation, which was founded in 2014, but officially launched in 2017. It's an initiative centered around leadership, civic engagement, and global youth empowerment. Headquartered in Chicago, the foundation became the public-facing engine of his post-presidency influence. It was also the first clue. Obama wasn't done shaping the world, not even close. Then came Higher Ground Productions, which is a multimedia company that the former president co-founded with his wife Michelle. He signed a deal with Netflix, reportedly worth over $50 million. The stated mission is to tell stories that matter, documentaries, films, and series that shape narrative through nuance, not noise. There was also a historic book deal, $65 million for the rights to his and Michelle's memoirs. And when it comes to public speaking, bookings reportedly cost at least $400,000 per engagement, a price not just for words, but for wisdom, curation, and presence. Unlike others, he chose not to chase headlines. He let the silence speak, and in that silence, his influence only deepened. The machinery of wealth. Post-presidency, Obama entered a different arena: financial independence. His $70 million in net worth is not built on endorsements or extravagance. It's built on ownership. In 2018, Barack and Michelle inked a deal with Netflix, reportedly worth $65 million. Their production company, Higher Ground, was born, and with it, a new form of influence. But this isn't just content for content's sake. It's storytelling with a mission. Their first major release, American Factory, won the Academy Award for Best Documentary Feature. It explored the intersection of labor, automation, and globalization, striking a chord with working class viewers worldwide. While not overtly political, the film carried the kind of thoughtful social commentary that has come to define the Obama's post-White House projects. Next came Becoming, a documentary based on Michelle Obama's best-selling memoir. It offered a personal glimpse into her upbringing, values, and global book tour. It quickly became one of Netflix's most watched documentaries. With each release, the Obamas sent a message. They weren't retreating from public life. They were redefining it on their terms.
Beyond the screen, their publishing success has also set records. Their joint book deal with Penguin Random House was valued at over $60 million. Barack Obama's A Promised Land sold nearly 900,000 copies on its first day, one of the biggest launches for a political memoir in modern history. Michelle's Becoming has sold more than 14 million copies worldwide and remains one of the best-selling memoirs of all time. Both Obamas are also in demand on the global speaking circuit. Barack's appearances can command fees ranging from $400,000 to over $1 million per engagement. His audiences include Fortune 500 companies, international policy forums, and elite universities. These aren't campaign speeches. They're high-level thought leadership events that shape business strategy and global agendas. Michelle Obama is equally sought after. Her speaking fees often exceed $200,000 per appearance, particularly for corporate events, leadership conferences, and global women's summits. One speech was even reported to cost the organizers $750,000. Together, the Obamas have turned their post-presidency into a finely tuned balance of narrative control, strategic impact, and financial sustainability, all while staying rooted in a mission to inspire and lead from outside the political arena. The lifestyle of a global statesman. Real estate also plays a role. The Obamas purchased an Elvin Point $75 million mansion on Martha's Vineyard in 2020, a sprawling 7,000 square foot estate with 7 bedrooms and panoramic views of the Atlantic Ocean. It's serene, private, presidential. This isn't just a home, it's a base of operations. A retreat designed for high-level meetings, creative strategy, and quiet reflection. A place where deals are discussed off-camera and power is preserved far from Washington. But this isn't their only property. Back in the Capitol, they also own a luxurious $8.1 million home in the upscale neighborhood of Kalorama. Unlike other former presidents who moved away from D.C., Obama stayed. Why? Because influence thrives where decisions are still being made. The home sits just minutes from Capitol Hill, a quiet nod to the fact that he never really left the room where it happens. And then there's Hawaii, a third point in the triangle of influence. The Obamas are developing an estate on the island of Oahu, on a beach called Waimanalo. The beachfront property is designed with both privacy and sustainability in mind. It's part personal haven, part legacy project, built not only to honor Obama's birthplace, but to anchor his family's presence in the Pacific. Nearby, close friend Marty Nesbitt, who also chairs the Obama Foundation, owns adjacent property, reinforcing the idea that this isn't just about retirement. It's about setting down roots in a region with strategic and cultural value. 3 homes, 3 worlds, one purpose: to remain present, powerful, and poised. The Obama post-presidency lifestyle blends luxury with legacy. He's traveled extensively, from private islands in the Caribbean to high-level climate summits in Europe. He flies private, when necessary, yet moves with discretion. His security detail, still provided by the Secret Service, operates quietly but efficiently. Unlike some former presidents, Obama avoids overt displays of wealth because he's not chasing the spotlight, but he's never far from it. A life by design. Day to day, Barack Obama lives a life far removed from the chaos of cable news cycles. His mornings begin early. Most days start with a 5 a.m. workout, a habit he maintained even during his presidency. Afterward, he turns to reading newspapers, long-form essays, or books on leadership, technology, and philosophy. This is followed by quiet writing time, where he often works on speeches, notes, or personal reflections. This rhythm reflects not retirement, but refinement. Obama's sense of discipline, structure, and intention has not faded since leaving the Oval Office. If anything, it has deepened, but his daily life is far from isolated. His calendar often includes meetings with his foundation team, strategy sessions with media partners, or briefings on civic initiatives. Many of these meetings take place virtually or from his residences, preserving both privacy and focus. The household dynamic has shifted with time. Malia and Sasha are now young adults, pursuing their own paths. Michelle Obama, a best-selling author and public figure in her own right, is often on tour, speaking globally and promoting educational causes. The Obama home operates with balance, calm, private, but deeply connected to the outside world. There are no extravagant parties or attention-seeking headlines. What the Obamas practice is not performative minimalism, but purposeful simplicity. Every appearance, statement, or project is calculated for impact. Their brand is intentional and built with clarity. It blends cultural leadership with moral clarity, engaging audiences through documentaries, books, and global forums. Their public appearances are curated. Their messaging is deliberate. Their projects always carry a deeper meaning. Whether it's community building, racial equity, climate change, or democratic engagement, Obama's brand isn't just about him. It's about leadership, mentorship, the next generation. Through the Obama Foundation's global programs, including the Obama Scholars and Leaders initiatives, he's influencing the future by shaping future leaders. He may no longer hold elected office, but the power to inspire and influence real change hasn't gone anywhere. What power really looks like now? So what does power look like after the presidency? It looks like this. A man who trades titles for reach, speeches for silence, presence for purpose. Obama didn't just retire. He redefined the role. In a world where many cling to attention, he chose selectivity. In a world of urgency, he chose intention. And in a time where leadership is often loud, he chose to let his legacy speak. For instance, the Obama Foundation is not just a nonprofit, it's a blueprint. And the Obama Presidential Center, currently under construction in Jackson Park, aims to be more than a library. It will be a campus for civic education, technology, and community activism. But perhaps his greatest legacy is not a building or even a speech. It's the sustained relevance. When Obama tweets, markets listen. When he recommends a book, it becomes a bestseller. When he speaks on democracy, audiences across continents take notes. That kind of soft power is rare. And it doesn't fade with time. It grows. Barack Obama may no longer command the Oval Office, but he commands attention, respect, cultural weight. His post-presidency is the blueprint for the modern political afterlife, one where influence isn't about ruling, but reshaping, where speeches become investments, where documentaries become diplomacy, where every move, every word, every deal serves a broader mission. The $70 million life of power isn't about money. It's about maintaining relevance and using it to guide the next era, quietly but effectively. This is what happens when power doesn't retire. It reinvents itself. That's all for today. If you liked the video, make sure to share it with your friends. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as we have more of these deep dives coming. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.